say that just a short while ago, a red siren code was a red siren code was here in Israel. Blair Indes, they wrote signaling possible Gaza missile attack on Israel. From what we're getting, initial reports are saying that the missile was or landed in an open field. And of course, we will continue updating you about this matter. Let's stay here in Israel. Staff Sergeant Oron Shaul was killed in Gaza during Operation Protective Edge in July 2014, while a military investigation concluded he is indeed dead. Hamas continues to claim otherwise. In its latest manipulation, the terror group sent a letter to Oron's parents alleging it was written recently by their son. Authorities have since determined the letter is fake. Earlier today, Oron's parents held a press conference to discuss the events.
Ismail Hania, I call on you again for the second time. I want to believe you. Show me concrete evidence about the true situation of Oron. I know that there is a price, but the moment you show me evidence, like you showed the parents of Gilad Shalit, I want to promise, that we will turn the country and the world inside out, so a deal will come through. Think about it, Hania. Think about what I said.
Yes, we will just say another report about the red code siren that were here in Israel, were heard here in Israel. The missile apparently fell in an open field, and there are no information about any wounded people, only open field, like we're saying. And right now with me here is Shai Ben Ari. Shai, good evening. Let's get back to Oron's family and what the game exactly that Hamas is trying to play right now.
It's very interesting to see when you see the level of sophistication that some groups in the jihadist world, you could say, namely the Islamic State, have been acting with. In comparison to Hamas, you could say this is not done with a lot of sophistication on their part. Hamas has already responded to this demand presented by Jaffa Shaul to receive some sort of real evidence from them regarding the fate of their son. They say the group will only negotiate and relay any information regarding the fate of a number of different Israeli soldiers after the re-release of the prisoners who were redetained following the Shalit deal, who were basically redetained after the release in the Shalit deal back in 2011. Many of those prisoners were, of course, detained in the build-up to Operation Protective Edge. That is the main demand, just to begin negotiations from the side of Hamas.
You know, I'm trying to this game is really hard on the families. And Israel, in the meantime, with the reports that we heard in the since Operation Protective Edge, is that Israel is conducting some talks with Hamas. Apparently, if the talks were about the body of Oron Shaul, what about concerning this situation? Although Israel declared that it's not negotiating anymore about bodies.
If to believe Khalid Mashal, the leader of the political office of Hamas, basically the negotiations that were supposedly ongoing with Israel did not really relate to the issue of prisoners. It was more about the issue of the fate of Gaza and the siege surrounding it. He was basically intimating that the issue of prisoners was basically left aside, and that again that the main condition would be the re-release of those prisoners who were detained following the Shalit deal. We have spoken of this before. You know, Israeli society has been through what you could call a traumatic experience when you talk about the experience of releasing captives and the price for it. At the moment, it would be difficult to say that there is any sort of major public support, major popular support for a similar deal. I don't see it happening, especially when you're talking about the case of Oron Shaul, for example, who was basically already officially described as deceased by the IDF. His burial place remains unknown. The case of Avram Mengistu may be a little more complicated, but even there, I don't see the kind of popular groundswell of support that you would need, that a political leader would need to carry out that kind of exchange.
Yes, Shai Ben Ari, thank you very much for this.